Welcome to the Burning of the Midnight Lamp, where we are dissecting music history, album by album, and track by track. We are still on David Bowie's Heathen album from 2002, and the next track we are going to look at is track number 7, I Would Be Your Slave, which is a song written by David Bowie. And we're just going to jump straight into it and have a listen.
And I would be your slave.
I Would Be Your Slave.
Yes.
Quite minimalistic arrangement to this track. Only drum loop or these drums that are going and going. Some strings and bass for a first part of the song at least, before the guitar comes in. And of course this odd
Synthesizer
sound.
Yeah, there's some in the after 2/3 of the track. There's some cello or something making some little noise, and then some weird synths start in the background.
You mentioned the drums, which I always wanted to hear this song in a different mix or version, because the drums for me are, and I don't know if they'll loop because it sounds like live playing, but
I mean, it has been played by Matt Chamberlain, but he's credited with drums and loops.
Yeah,
on the track. So I guess must be looping his own drums.
I just wish to have heard this and more like the type of Bring Me the Disco King. Something like that. To me, they are
slower rhythm.
Yeah, to me they are a bit disturbing almost.
Okay,
but that's me.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's a bit in the jazzy area with, the loop in the beginning, almost like not a pinball machine, but some machine, but it sounds slowed down and murky, going for a loop in a certain rhythm, and then you have strings in one floating, and Bowie's singing is sort of detached from and Bowie's singing is somewhat cut off from the rest, also floating in a world or tempo of its own, and then you got the hectic drumming.
It's very floating, yeah.
So it's many different things. This sounds, I don't know if it is, but it sounds like a studio creation where they just put things on top of each other and see how it develops and fits.
You call it hectic drums. I would say it gives the song a bit laid back feeling, actually.
Maybe, yeah.
But that's me.
That's you.
But I can easily imagine it being, stripping it down or without that rhythm, this being a much more ballady
I guess
type of song.
Yeah, I guess hectic is maybe the wrong choice of word. Maybe more they're busy.
It's just because Bowie sounds singing in a different. Sounds like he's in a different studio singing to a different background or a different drummer, and then just it's pasted on top. No, it's not that it sounds disjointed at all, but it's maybe or most likely they decided that they wanted to make some counterpoints here and see how it fits together.
It's also interesting. Would you call this a song with verse and chorus, or would you call it a song with verse and bridges?
I mean, it does have a repetition. It kind of has a chorus, but it kind of also has two bridges that is repeated. I don't sit down. I don't sit and wait. I don't give a damn. That part is repeated twice. At the same time, each sort of chorus-ish ends with "I would be a slave."
Yeah, I can see they put that down, but I find that a bit strange because it's basically the same as the verse.
Yeah, it's kind of like a chorus or a song without a chorus,
which works well with this arrangement.
And the bridge, it does have some quite odd chord sequencing there. Surprising chords, like oh, what was that?
Yeah,
very unexpected chords that come in that follow each other there,
And
which is
suddenly
quite
the
typical
verse.
for Bowie at times. He could do that. I remember after he died, Rick Wakeman was quite a lot in the media, and I'm trying to find this again. I've never been able to find it. It's a clip where Rick Wakeman is going through life on Mars, and the chord structure there, and says, this song should have gone from this chord to this chord, but Bowie did this instead. It's just crazy. How did he go there? But it just fits so well. And if someone has a link or have found that clip, I would love to see it again.
I think Lea Cardos is working on a book now on Bowie's composition methods. She's discussed something about this on the Album to Album podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was the same thing that you say, that he does things that sounds like chance, but are most likely very deliberate and unexpected from when you're building a sequence of chords.
And I think it is a sequence that you would probably only be able to come up with on a keyboard. And Bowie did write this on his Korg Trinity keyboard. And the strings that we hear in the song is based on Bowie's own simple arrangements. I mean, you can hear that the arrangement is simple. It's basically the chords and not very much other than that. It was played by the Scorchio Quartet in one of the final sessions at the Lair Studios, which has discussed in the podcast, was after literally 2 days after the September 11th attacks, or something like that, very short after, when they had trouble getting up to the studio because all the roads were closed and, basically New York was shut down at the time. But still, they do a good work on this. It sounds good. The string sounds very good.
Yeah, the whole track sounds good, and
I mean, I like this. I like this track.
Yeah, me too. But it's one of those tracks that it's not an immediate hit. You have to work a bit with it, but there's
Maybe
many nice details. I think when the guitar comes in and the
it's
mentioned shallow.
it's also a very simple guitar. A lot of the guitars on Heathen is far from simple, and here it is basically just simple plucking, arpeggio. And we talked about when we discussed Sunday that this song, Sunday, 5:15, The Angels Have Gone, and the last track, the title track, Heathen, all were inspired by Richard Strauss and his 4 last songs that he made when he was very old, 80, well up into his 80s at least. Some songs that Bowie really, really loved. So this was one of those songs that were inspired by Richard Strauss. Maybe that's why we hear a string quartet. I don't know.
Can you waltz to it?
No.
Then I'm not interested.
So the lyrics, any ideas what it is about? Seems to be having a dialogue with some kind of god or a goddess or deity, or
It's like Word on a Wing Part 2.
in a way it is.
With the footsteps in the sand, and that's a familiar metaphor. And I would be your slave. He's probably not been listening to Britney Spears, who had a hit with a similar title around the time.
This is more a different type of slave, I think. It's
I would
more
say.
a submission and plea that you can see in some Christian hymns. For example, in the final lines, I would give you all my love, nothing else is free. Open up your heart to me, and I will be your slave. It's a funny coincidence here, though, and on one side you have the very serious word on the wing type interpretation here, which is probably as deep as Bowie ever goes when it comes in that direction. On the other side, it is very similar to the final lines that Bowie says to young Sarah as the Goblin King in Labyrinth. And he says, "Just fear me, love me, do as I say, and I will be your slave."
I would guess that's what's on his mind. Wanting people to go back to the labyrinth and connect the labyrinth with the Bible.
Exactly. I mean, Chris O'Leary, he has suggested that it would be tempting to interpret the song as Sarah's reply to the Goblin King. So there you have, is it Word on the Wing talking to God, or is it Labyrinth and the Goblin King?
Talking to Muppets.
Yeah.
Well, with Bowie, you're not really sure. Ever.
It was played live, although only on the Heathen tour. It was never played on the reality tour, actually. First time was 22nd of February 2002 at the Tibet House benefit concert, which was 4 months before Heathen was released. He played it on Top of the Pops and TOTP2, Top of the Pops 2, both recorded in New York City on 2nd of June, although it wasn't broadcasted, because they recorded 8 songs and only sent or broadcasted a couple of them. Last time he played it was 11th of October 2002 at the Music Hall at Snug Harbor in Staten Island in New York. So I guess he grew tired of it, or maybe it doesn't work that well as a live song.
No, I have a bit of trouble seeing that.
I haven't heard the live version, but it's taking something so studio made with he didn't have the Scorcho Quartet with him.
No, but these strings would be very easy for anyone to play on keyboard. So it such a simple arrangement wouldn't have been any problem at all playing live. But maybe it is just a bit boring, maybe live.
Yeah,
it's a great studio track, and I love it on Heathen. Not my favorite by any means, but certainly among the songs that I would put on my like list from this album.
Maybe just didn't fit the dynamic of the set list.
No, it's the type of song where most people maybe would head to the bar.
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah. Maybe he saw that from the stage and he's thinking, okay, I'm not going to play this on the next tour. What do you think of the song? Is it worthy of a live version on a Bowie concert or not? And if you did see it live, what do you think of it?
In case, give us a bark.
Leave a comment below. Until then, thank you to everyone for watching us. We also have a podcast show where we are discussing this album and other albums at length. We have a Patreon channel where you can get early access to every song on this album and other albums that we'll do in the future. And of course, our full podcast is also available there. Both the album discussion and all the songs that we discuss from each album. Until then, it's only for us to say goodbye.
Goodbye.
We'll soon be taking a trip on a certain spaceship.
We will.